This is the onemoto onemxexis, which we've owned now for about 6 weeks. Bought from Riru, who supply a lot of electric bikes like this from all ranges. I'm making a video because I struggled to find a review on Google or YouTube that gave you any information about this bike, so it was a bit of a nervous purchase, and the only reason I went for it is because Riru have a good reputation online, so I was sure that I could return it if it wasn't right. You did have to assemble some of it, put the wheels on and the stickers. You can see some of the stickers have already come off after 6 weeks. I don't think I did anything wrong putting those on. The other thing is, out the box, the bushings on the front wheel were the wrong size. These bushings here, you have to fit to space the wheel correctly. I tried swapping them around, it made no difference. The disc brake was malaligned with the caliper, and I tried adjusting the screws and nothing worked. And actually the same problem on the back. So you couldn't freewheel the bike without it sticking quite badly, and that would have burnt the motor out if I'd not done anything about it. But I just bought some washers online, which you can see in there. I put them on the front and the back brakes, and now both wheels spin freely, and the bike is actually quite easy to push forward. It won't push backwards, I think, because it goes against the motor. So that was a bit annoying. I didn't tell Riru about that, I just sort of fixed it myself. But I could have sent it back based on that, and I'm not sure if other bikes have had that problem or not. But the brakes are fairly adjustable. I've actually lowered the suspension just by twisting the lowering the screw there, or whatever it's called. Not because there's anything wrong with it. It was quite stiff. It is a bit softer now, but mainly so my 4-year-old can reach the ground. It's a bit big for my 4-year-old. He can't touch the ground with both feet, but he is learning to start from 1 foot down, which is fine. It has 3 settings. Low is about walking speed, about 4 miles an hour. Medium is a sort of fair jog, and then high speed looks like about 20k an hour, and my 4-year-old weighs 20 kilos, so he flies around on this bike, which is probably a bit dangerous, but I bought it for his older brother really, but it's not fair to not let him have a go. The one thing I do like about it is it has a kill switch in both brakes, so if you touch the brakes, the accelerator does nothing. So that's a nice safety feature if the young ones don't really understand that they need to let go of the throttle when they're in trouble to stop the bike running away. So the brakes do kill the motor, which is really nice. I have left this plastic bag on just to keep the gunk out of the suspension. I should probably buy a proper cover, but it's not caused me any problems so far. And I have had to occasionally oil the chain. If you wash it back down and leave it, the chain goes very rusty very quickly. And you can see there's a few sort of rust spots around the welds, rusting in like mild rusting inside the bolts there, so they're obviously not stainless, which is a bit frustrating. But there's mild corrosion in there. Look, you can see this is only 6 weeks old, and I wash it down every time we've got it really muddy, but I've learnt now I have to dry it off. Range wise, I've not topped out the range. I've been monitoring the bike's speed and range. We've never flattened the battery. You can tell when it's starting to lose battery that it loses some power, so you get a bit of a warning, and these lights do tend to go down. But when the green light goes off, you find that actually you're already sort of losing power. It's claimed to do 5 miles. I think I've done about 4 miles on it without any problems, so it probably does do 5 miles. We've only done about maybe 15 charge cycles on it. It takes 8 hours apparently to charge overnight, and the charger has an indicator light, which is really helpful. So it goes, it's red when it needs charging, and it goes green when it's finished. So I do try to unplug it to protect the battery when it's fully charged. When the bike's lowered, the stand doesn't really fit, but that's fair enough. It kind of wants to fall over, but that's kind of because I've decided to lower the back wheel. So the stand is actually perfect. The build quality is not very good, really. You can see my boys have dropped it, and it's already cracked in there. This front fairing is now really loose because it's cracked. This has come off a few times. Just generally speaking, the build quality, the tires are very hard. They're not soft rubber, they're quite firm and sticky. Not sticky at all really, but because of the tread on them, they work great off-road. And he has not been slipping around on the tarmac either, to be fair. So they do the job, but if, you know, a few modifications could make it better. But for the money, it's actually, I think it's excellent value. It's about £400, something along those lines. I can't remember exactly, maybe 420 or something. and I bought the kids a full face helmet and a proper upper body armor for when they're using it on full speed. So yeah, it's good overall. I've only had it 6 weeks, so I might post another video if it sort of has problems with the charge later down the line, but so far I've been quite impressed with it and I'm happy with the value, even though with the caveats that I've pointed out building it, and the build quality is a bit poor, stickers coming off, things like that, but overall it's good value.